Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Adelina and I make videos about living in this tiny house on wheels and living a more intentional life. Today I want to make something for you that I maybe don't make every week, but several, at least twice, usually 2 or 3 times a month, and that is coconut rice in my Instant Pot. It is super easy. It's so delicious. I'm making a recipe that I'm going to be filming for you guys as well. And this is the rice that I love to have with my curries, chilies, just about anything. And you can freeze it. So I'll make a big batch and then I will freeze, 2-cup portions for the weeks when I don't want to make it. But it is super easy, so let me show you the ingredients. When I say this is super easy, like so many of my recipes, I really do mean that. We have some rice. This is basmati. That's the rice that I like to buy. You could use jasmine as well. I guess you could use a long grain, but I've only ever tried it with jasmine or basmati, and I prefer basmati. I buy my basmati in great big bags, but also bulk stores. It's not expensive. And then you need a can of coconut milk, full fat coconut milk, not the light one. So if you shake it and you can hear sloshing, put that back on the shelf and get yourself a can that you can't hear anything in there. That means that the coconut solids, that there's coconut solids in there, you're not paying for water. And then we need a little bit of sugar and a little bit of salt, and that is it. So let me show you literally how fast this is. The first thing I'm going to do is rinse 1.5 cups of your rice. You want to rinse it because you want to get that starchiness off. So I'm just going to rinse this well. Okay, so once you've rinsed your rice, so it's not, the water isn't all milky, then you put it in your Instant Pot. Sorry. Now, to that, we're going to add your coconut milk. Now, what you find, I know I've mentioned this before, but if you're new, is that when you get a can of full-fat coconut milk, you'll find that when you open it, it's solid on the top. Just know that as you scoop it in here, there's water underneath these solids here, and it will get everywhere if you're not careful. So just be aware. Hold it down there. So I've got 1 can of full-fat coconut milk, so 1/2 can of water. And now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar. Now this is optional, but I think it's really good. And it doesn't, the coconut milk is already slightly sweet, but we add 1 teaspoon of sugar and then 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon. You can always add more salt later. And then basically, let me show you what that looks like. You can see that the coconut milk is still pretty solid in there. I'm going to whisk it around a bit to try and break it up, but obviously it will break up as it's cooking. But that's why I use hot water for the 1/2 can of water. It just helps break this down a bit. All right, so we're going to cook this. Make sure this is set to sealing, and we're going to cook it on high pressure, manual. High pressure, it's already set to 6 minutes because the last time I used the Instant Pot was to make the rice. So high pressure, manual, high pressure for 6 minutes. It'll take a few minutes to come up to steam. and then it will seal, and then it will count down from 6 to 0. When it beeps, when it's done cooking, let it turn it off, cancel, turn it off, and let it self-release for 5 minutes, and then we will manually release the rest. It has beeped. The 6 minutes are up. I'm going to press this cancel button, and I'm going to set my timer on my phone for 5 minutes, and then we will do the manual pressure release. This is so easy, so good. I could eat it just like this. But it doesn't have a super strong coconut flavor, but it is coconut rice, so you can taste the coconut. It's awesome with curries. I put it with chili, whatever you're going to use rice with. And like I said earlier, I freeze some. So whenever I'm trying to use up bits and bobs from my fridge that need to get used up, just odds and ends of veggies and things like that, I will pull some out of my freezer if I don't have some in my fridge. I will use it to make fried rice. For all of you guys out there who got one of these for Christmas and are not sure what to be making with it, rice. You can make any kind of rice in there, but coconut rice is my favorite. It's so flavorful. And it's so easy, as you saw. When I was a kid and I was sick, my mom would make, don't lean against the stove, Adelina. My mom would make rice, and she would sprinkle a little white sugar on it and give that to me because it was easy on my tummy and it was like dessert. And I gotta say, you sprinkle a little bit of sugar on this or a little bit of maple syrup, and it's dessert. It's like rice pudding without any of the work. What can I say? It's memories of when I was growing up and the things that my mom used to feed me. Her birthday was just last week. She's obviously passed, but her birthday was last week, which of course made me think about her even more than I usually do. And I think you guys know that I was very close to my mom and think about her a lot. So it got me to thinking about just all the comfort foods that I had as a kid. I'm sure you have your own. And so I think that's why I love cooking so much, is because I have so many fond memories of it. Anyways, so I hope you give this a try. Again, it's another thing that you can make in your Instant Pot. I'm going to create a playlist of all the Instant Pot recipes I've done so that they can all be found easily in one spot. And stay tuned for next Wednesday when I share my curry recipe. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're staying safe. Remember, in a world where you can be anything, eat good food, be kind, be brave. I love you, and I'll see you next time.